So internet addiction is a lot worse than you think. And I don't know why more people aren't realizing this and why more people aren't taking steps to actually avoid it and actually fix it. Because the reality is, bro, your life is being destroyed right now via internet addiction. Now, you might think that internet addiction, what is that? Because you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm like addiction is like, when you're addicted to drugs or you're addicted to alcohol or something like that. But, I don't have an addiction. But the reality is that's exactly what they want you to think, right? That's the trap that they want you to be in because they don't want you to think that you have an addiction when the reality is that you do, right? If right now on a daily basis, you find yourself spending hours doing any one of the following things, you have an internet addiction, okay? And you just aren't admitting it yet. So, number one, if you find yourself hours a day on social media, just scrolling or just watching YouTube videos or just constantly listening to YouTube videos like podcasts, that kind of thing, you have an internet addiction. If you are obsessed with playing video games multiple hours throughout your day, even an hour every single day, you have internet addiction. If you are somebody who watches porn on a consistent basis, a consistent weekly or daily basis, you have an internet addiction. And the problem with this is that the internet addiction is so potent because of the fact that of one main thing. There's one main thing that makes it so potent, and that is the social aspect of it, right? The feeling that you get from being on social media, the feeling that you get playing video games with other people, the feeling that you get when you're watching porn because it tricks your brain into thinking that you're actually having sex when you're not. And so this is why it's so scary and so dangerous, is because it replaces that feeling that we have, right, of needing other people, and like you feel like you're alone, right? You feel like you don't have any friends and you feel alone. And so you go to social media, you go to porn, you go to video games to kind of solve that problem. But the problem with that, the problem with the problem is that it doesn't actually solve the problem, bro. All it does is just make it worse. Because what happens is you continue to do these things, but you need more and more and more of it to actually feel something, right? It's like that time you like first played a game and you really enjoyed it. But then you played it 5 more, 10 more times and you were just like, I'm kind of bored of this now, and you need to go find another game. And so what happens to us is we spend more and more and more time on the internet to the point where literally our entire day is taken up by the internet. And I'm not immune to this. But I've taken major steps to reduce the amount of like internet usage within my life, right? Like just years ago when I used to play like a ton of video games. Like I was a video game addict, and I didn't really realize at the time that I was addicted to the internet. I didn't think it had anything to do with that. I was just like, oh yeah, no, I'm just playing video games. No, it's cool. And that's one of the biggest things, is that if this video is making you feel like you're in denial, or you feel as though you're like, oh no, that's not me, I don't have an addiction, that's exactly what you have, bro. And your brain is just doing that as a defense mechanism because you don't want to admit it. So the first step to actually fixing your internet addiction is to admit that you even have one in the first place. And it can be hard to do that because you might be thinking, oh no, I'm above addiction, I don't have it. But bro, I know you do, because if you're scrolling on social media, right? Even if you're just watching this video right now, you're watching this video. I know this is not the first video that you've watched on YouTube today. There's no way that this is the first video you've watched on YouTube today. There's no way that this is the first piece of content you've consumed today. So there's no way, bro. There's just no way. So the reality of the situation is you have internet addiction. And after this video, you're probably most likely going to go watch another one, or go on social media, or go play video games, or watch porn, or do some shit like that. So the internet addiction has to be stopped, because if it doesn't, what it does to your life, bro, is it takes up all your fucking time that you could be working towards your goals and actually leveling up in real life, and you spend it on social media, you spend it on video games, thinking in your brain that you're actually either making progress or thinking that it's just a way to satisfy you and make you feel better because your life sucks. But it's kind of a catch-22, because how do you improve your life when all your extra time is being spent on the internet? You know what I mean? It's this weird sort of catch-22 situation where it's like, how do you actually improve your life if all your extra time is just spent doing the activities that I mentioned? And so I didn't realize this for the longest time, and I wasted so much time. Like I would literally rack up 40 hours sometimes on Steam, which is like, if you play video games, you know what that is. It's like a platform for like PC games. And so I would rack up 40 hours a week on Steam, bro. 40 hours a week. Are you kidding me? That's the amount of working another full-time job. That's unacceptable, bro. That is an addiction. No matter what anyone else out here tells you, that is an addiction. And so in order for you to break this addiction, okay, you're going to have to do a few things. The first thing I'd recommend that you do is get an app downloaded on your phone called Stay Free, okay? It's called Stay Free, and basically what it does, well, some phones have like a built-in tracker in terms of how much time you're spending, Most phones have that, like a built-in tracker, but I would recommend you get the app Stay Free because you can link it between your phone and your desktop. And I want you to just install that app, put it on your phone and on your desktop. If you don't believe me, if you think you don't have an addiction, download that app, put it on your phone, put it on your desktop, and then literally just do whatever you do normally for a week. Come back to it, and you will be astonished at how much time you spent this week online, across social media, across watching YouTube videos, across just doing shit online, playing video games. Dude, you're going to be amazed. So that's the first thing that you can do to actually see what I'm talking about, and I can actually prove to you that what I'm telling you is true. The second thing you have to understand is that in order for you to actually get off of this and get away from this, is like, this is going to be a lifestyle change. This is not just going to be something that you can do for 24 hours, like those videos, stupid videos you watch on YouTube. Oh, 24-hour detox from social media, bro. Blah, blah, blah. That shit, that's not real self-improvement. Okay, that's not actually making a real lifestyle change. So in order for you to actually succeed, you need to go on what's called a long-term dopamine detox. Okay? Now, I don't want to get too in the weeds about what that means because you're not going to have the attention for that. But I'm just going to say simply, when you are doing these things, social media, video games, and porn, what happens is your brain gets very excited and gets a reward. Okay? It gets a reward from doing that, and it releases this chemical called dopamine. And so what you need to do in order to get away from this, in order to destroy this addiction that you have to the internet, is you actually have to go on what's called a dopamine detox, meaning you need to starve your brain of these activities. And I know that's going to be really difficult for you because you're addicted to them, right? But that's how you have to break the addiction. You have to literally get away from these things and abstain from doing them for a long enough period for your brain to reset. That's literally how you hack your brain, right? You have to give your brain enough time to reset in order for you to have a clear mind and perspective and not be addicted to these things anymore. So typically the amount of time you need to spend doing this would be anywhere from like 21 days to 30 days or like 4 weeks. Typically for me, in my experience, it definitely takes like 4 weeks, like a month. And it's going to be very difficult for you to do this, but if you can do it, if you can actually see it through, bro, you can literally break your internet addiction. And the benefits from that are basically, I just can't even really describe them to you. Like, you're going to save so much money because you won't be spending so much time playing video games, right? You'll have more hours that you can either work or be productive on some other project. The amount of time you're going to save scrolling on social media is going to literally save your mental health because social media is designed to destroy your mental health. And that's the thing, is that these things are designed to hook you. They're designed to keep you addicted on purpose, right? That's how they make their money, dude. They make their money by keeping you addicted. So you have to make sure that you find a way around this. And like I'm just telling you, bro, you have to do the dopamine detox. All right, I made another video on my channel about the benefits of it. But really, when it comes down to it, the dopamine detox will save you from this addiction, and it will allow you to level up in life, because the amount of time you're spending right now on your internet addiction is stopping you from leveling up in real life. And I know a bunch of people want to be cute and be, oh, it's okay, you can play for an hour a day, bro. Oh, it's fine, dude. You can do porn once in a while. It's okay, bro. You can play video games here and there. You can scroll on social media at least for 2 hours a day, as long as it's not 3 or 4 hours a day. Why? When you get rid of these things, bro, you'll realize that those people don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and you'll realize that in reality they're trying to keep you trapped, right? They are trying to keep you trapped. The whole system is trying to keep you trapped and trying to keep you in this cycle of your attention being hacked and put into their thing so that they can make more money off of you. Right? That's the whole thing. Is they're able to make money off of you because you give them your attention. And you're not working on your own goals, and you're not running with a pack of guys who are actually moving in a similar direction as you. And so you get distracted all the time and you don't stay accountable to what you need to be doing. So if you want to level up, I'm telling you, be aware of this internet addiction and start taking steps to get rid of it, because it's worse than you think. And it is literally slowing you down. The amount of hours I've spent on social media, video games, porn, all this stuff has literally stolen, I don't know how many years of my life that I could be farther ahead in terms of actually having the life that I want to have. If you want to live an amazing life in the modern age, you can't be addicted to these things, dude. You just can't. You have to find a way to break your addiction to these things, because you're not going to be able to achieve your goals. Answer me this. How are you going to make the money you want to make? How are you going to travel to the places you want to travel to? How are you going to level up your physique? How are you going to ever reach your potential or higher self when you're addicted to these things? I mean, you can't. You won't. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you as basically like an older brother figure that you will never do it. Because what happens is when you're addicted to these things, all your motivation and energy gets funneled into that instead of getting funneled into your goals, because your brain wants the addiction, right? Because you get such a bigger high from the addiction and from doing that activity than you do actually working on your goals, like going to the gym, healthy habits, meditation, working on your business or your career or whatever, or your major or whatever you're doing, like if you're doing college. So that's just the reality of the situation, bro. You have to find a way to break your internet addiction. And the best way to do that is through a dopamine detox, okay? And through setting new healthy habits. That is how you overcome this. I'm telling you, once I did this, my life completely turned around and changed for the better. So beware of the internet addiction. If you want help with this, check out my coaching community in the description. I will help you go through this process. I have whole systems and everything set up that will actually help you get through this. So if you need help with that, then check that out in the description. But otherwise, take this information, actually get to work, and for 30 days, at least give yourself a month to actually block out these things. At least one of them. At least choose one of them to block out, and you will watch your life change. You will watch your mental health change. You will watch your productivity skyrocket. All right, bro. That's basically it for today. Peace out, and I'll see you next time.